Lightning Luke Gilbert has the break. In this, the second Pro Series 2 semi-final. And that is about as bad a break as Luke Gilbert has probably hit today. He did mention to me in that interview his break had ironically been letting him down. It is usually such a weapon for him. He alluded to that. He felt like he'd been almost typecast as a bit of a break merchant. But it's been nice to sort of have his other facets of the game turn up and show his all-round ability. But let's be real, if he's to win a Pro Series semi-final against a really experienced and highly ranked competitor, he's going to need to break better than that. Shaun Storry has a very presentable opportunity on these reds, and this is a dream layout for your first frame of a semi-final, isn't it, Simon Webb?
Yeah, absolutely, and you're 100% right with Luke. He's got so much to his game, and yeah, he's got a fabulous break. He really does, especially considering, he's a tiny player, but he really does pack a punch. But he's absolutely all round one of the best players of his generation. Huge future in the game, but he's going to have to break better than that if he wants to win this match and this title. And this is a very presentable chance for Shaun Storry. Great to see him back in another semi-final. It's been a little while. He has been in plenty with Ultimate Pool.
I think you can say that for all four semi-finalists this evening. Good to see them back. It's been a little while.
He's a little bit short here as Shaun. He was trying to get back to roughly the straight, and he's, well, significantly short. If he gets straight in top right, then it's just pretty much dot to dot from there. He's awkward. If he goes up the table, he's got the yellows to play around with, and to hold for the red right centre is difficult. If he comes down the table, he's awkward in an awkward cue ball as well.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of work to do. I just wonder if maybe the shot to play is the one just above the 8 ball, because the yellows play massive at the top of the table.
I was wondering if he could just drop it in and accept the fact he's going to be sitting somewhere on the yellow, just to the left of the yellow after the cannon, and then you just drop into the right centre pocket. To try and hold that, I thought was tough.
And ironically, that was quite a poor shot from Shaun, because he's missed it on the thin side of the pocket. He'd have been trying to pot that as thick as possible.
And the shot before was incredibly poor, really. I know it's early and he's just trying to feel his way out there, but he could have overhit the shot. He could have come too far and still just dropped it in for the red. He had ways to deal with it, but being short was a real problem for him, and he was quite a long way short.
Well, that's a surprising miss from Luke Gilbert. Bit of a confused expression on the face of Luke there. Didn't like that. Tried to drag it in. It's quite a common method for some of the top players that quite a few of them don't like rolling it. They prefer to get a bit of drag on it to quicken it up initially and then slow it down. Doesn't leave them at the mercy of the roll of the table as much. Worst part, I don't think Luke has covered the pocket to the top right either. And this is, I think it's safe to say, after the high quality we witnessed in the first semi-final, where it was from the gun just a very, very good standard. A couple of mistakes changed momentum. This is a twitchy and nervy opening frame.
It is. I just think it's one of those semi-finals are for winning, isn't it? And it's just a case of just find your way, get yourself into the match, and the standard can ramp up. It doesn't really matter how, but we're still in a tricky spot here for Shaun. He's, again, not gone far enough, so he's going to have to really work a good cue ball. He has more chance than he did previously, though. There is a line available.
Yeah.
Punch this through the gap with some running side.
Yeah, nice line he's found. 8 balls available to plenty of pockets, so he just needed to hit that line and he'd be pretty much okay anywhere.
He'll be really pleased with that shot in particular, because he's left a couple of shots short in this final so far, and that one was crossing the line all the way, and he absolutely timed it to perfection, and the pace control was brilliant.
Yeah, it might just take the both of them just a minute to settle.
And he has a variety of ways of doing it as well. He's always a player that will tinker and find the 1%, but he can hit that cut break incredibly hard. This one was more of the controlled, kind of sensible pace, where you're kind of just controlling things, making sure you get the cue ball right. But he can do it in a number of different ways, and You reference, has he played on the table this weekend, or has he been playing on tables 2 and 3? He played one match on this table this weekend, and that was against Josh Kane in event 1, and he ended up losing that match. Josh actually played very well in it. Not a layout for either player to be excited about, so it's going to be a little bit of back and forth here. Each of them trying to kind of tease the other one into taking on a poor finish. And Luke may well take it on right now. One good pot here on the red, and reds are on. How straight is he on the one to the top left? If he's fairly straight, it's not bad at all. Or has he got the yellow? He's got the yellow even. No, he has got the cap for the red. It was okay. Just under hit that one himself, actually. Wanted to come up for the straight on the red to bottom left, or just short of the straight. And he's a little bit further short than he would have wanted, but it's not by too much.
I think it's okay, yeah. He can come up all right. It's all right. It's all right. He's got a shot. It could have come out worse. Now it's just to be a little bit picky about how he goes about it. You can see he's stationing himself at the top right. That's because the ball to the top right is going to be his next one, and then we'll go across to the middle, and then it's just about dropping down nicely below the 8 ball for his last red. Just needs to figure out that little route, the combination.
The yellow right in the middle of the table is actually plays a little bit big here. Probably gets in the way of his intended route, or the better route, so he's tried to play on the higher red. And a very edgy start here for Luke Gilbert, it really is.
It's forgivable. And I just wonder, Si, I mean, you've probably had some experience of this in the...
What, major semi-finals?
No, not that, of course. That would be lying. But, you know, it probably can't be easy for Luke when he's probably already nervous about his semi-final. And as he's preparing to go on, he's watched his best mate miss a couple of horrific match balls, and essentially seen him sort of buckle a little bit under the weight of it all. And have you ever had that? I know you play a lot of international pool where you've gone out and after someone close to you sort of faltered it. Can it affect yourself mentally?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't think it will be the case. I know what you're trying to say there. It can do. I'd be very surprised if that was the reason, and I'd be very surprised if Luke watched too much of that previous match. He probably just wants to stay in his own bubble and not really worry about what Dom's doing. He's just another player that's in the way in the semi-finals. But I know it can definitely be a factor. But
it was just a factor I know he would have seen the end because he was ready and waiting to play. I'm not saying it's exclusively. I think there's semi-final nerves for both players out there. That's pretty obvious. Shaun's just missed a bad ball as well. Neither player has settled yet.
I think the player that would be happy to see all this would be Declan Brennan right now.
Oh, I should say.
Not that he'll really matter. He knows when it gets to the final, it'll come down to whether he can take at least 8 of the chances that come his way.
Well, yeah, I can guarantee Declan Brennan will not be watching this. He will not be having anything to do with this final. He'll be just doing himself.
A little bit short this time for Luke, and it is important because he needs a good angle on the last red. So a really delicate shot required here, just to hold on the right angle. 2 ways of playing it. And goes around the back of it, and that's fine. He's got himself loads of angle and the natural as well. It's just tracking down the middle of the table here. All the room in the world. All the room in the world from about there to the bottom cushion and back. There's about 3.5, 4 foot of margin on that shot. And we're all square.
And, you know, he's still right there.
Yeah, I guess it's a case both players will think, just find my game and I've got a real chance here.
Well, Luke's found his break, which is step number 1.
Yeah, the one thing you will say about the opening break as well was that the explosion was great. He still drives through the pack really well, generates so much power. It's just the cue ball. He just lost it in a similar way. This time it just stays on the table, and the difference is he has the opportunity rather than Shaun's Storry, but it is a very good one. It's the yellow and red together that's the obvious problem. The problem he has with that yellow and red together is a little bit separated from the rest of his work here. So he's going to have to find a really good shot to open this up. It's far from a guarantee. He's on the plant. So if he plays the plant, get the red to stick right over the pocket, he's going to be quite tight to that red in the middle of the table, and he needs an angle to then open up the other one, and he'd love to have a red sitting over the centre pocket when he plays that shot. It's a very good shot. With the cue ball, I didn't see that as an option, if I'm honest, simply because that red always looked like it was going to track high. He was kind of using the angle he had. He was quite straight on that, so he created the angle by playing the plant, and the red's gone high on him. And when there's two reds waiting, and I suppose he had to try and open it up at some point, I thought maybe he could leave the angle on the red in the middle of the table to do that with slightly more control. Don't know whether the red could go off the yellows. The yellows are quite high up the table. Yeah, they look too high to me, and he's got the wrong angle as well, so he's going to have to play this direct. I'm not sure how he opens up this red. The angle he's got, I think it throws too wide. He can't top into it. It's not wide enough to go off the top cushion and into it. Oh, he did have the angle, just wasn't a natural. And he sticks on it. That pace, it was never really going to open it up.
Tentative and testy start for Shaun, Storry and Luke Gilbert here. Time, I think, for Luke to find something. Yeah, I think he thought that was makeable, you know. It was an incredibly difficult shot. Basically had to arc the cue ball around the yellow off the cushion to snick it into the middle. But the way he reacted afterwards tells me that he thinks it was possible. It was very, very difficult, mind.
Well, the good news, if he hits the red, he makes the pot, because all he could see was the potting angle off one cushion. The problem with that is it was absolutely tiny.
Yeah.
There was no room to work with whatsoever.
So while Shaun begins his route through these, let's give you a little bit of a Women's Pro Series update. Amy Beecham has continued where she left off last year in the inaugural Pro Series. She has continued to remain the number one. She's beaten Emma Cunningham 6-5, and what I can gather from those who watched it was an absolute cracker. So Amy Beecham's into the final. And over on table 2 right now, Danielle Randall and Harriet Haynes are 3 each. What a cue ball.
Definitely a yes. That was brilliant. But it's dry. Wouldn't you know it? That's his best break of the 3, and it's dry.
That's tough. That is tough.
Extension fault.
Very good layout for Shaun Storry, similar to the Luke Gilbert layout before is one, as he surveys the table, he knows he should get. Luke knows he should get it as well. Yellow by the 8 balls, the only one that really needs some work. And when you've only got one ball that you need to work out, it's a pretty good place to be, and he's got ways of doing it. I don't know if the one by the 8 ball goes top right. I don't know why. I think it's easier to get on it up the table. Definitely goes top left, but I was wondering whether he could get delicately on the one into left centre. He's a long way down, and if he was straight in, he'd be on the one to top right, but he probably won't want to go that way. But it's not easy to get behind that yellow to bottom left nicely. There it goes top left. He landed on it top left. He used it as his connection to this one on the left hand side. Nicely done. That's the work essentially done here. Just has to make the pots. Very, very good from Shaun Storry. It was a lovely split. He had one half a problem. It probably wasn't even that, just to work out. Landed on it nicely, and he is away.
He said 2024, whilst it feels like a fresh start, it still feels like he's got to that fresh start a little bit late. He'd have loved to have put in a bit more practice towards the end of the year coming into this. It also doesn't help that his practice partner's Tom Cousins, who when you're coming into your practice partner Tom Cousins, you've not really been playing for a few months. You're gonna spend a lot of time in your chair watching. It's probably not the best practice for him.
It's brilliant practice because you're getting used to playing. You know, you are getting full punishment on every time you make a mistake. So it's as good a match practice as you can probably get. But equally, I think you need to mix that up with some other tournament practice or maybe some other practice matches as well.
Yellow balls in play.
Minutes done in this one, half an hour to go. I think the early jousting in this one is over. I think both players are now starting to find a little bit of a rhythm, and Luke's got an opportunity to tie things up here, although it's a little bit congested. They actually do all have pockets here. I don't think the yellow in the top half of the table passes the reds to the top left. If it did, that would make life even easier. Oh, well, it won't matter now. Very surprising miss. There was room for this one. Oh, he just showed too much fit to the red. He could play that one off the jaw, off the red. It was all absolutely fine.
Extension call.
Another opportunity then for Luke. I don't think the 8-ball now has a pocket, but... Well, I was about to say I think he should get there. And he can deal with it if he could get there, but he can't now.
Match is slowly ticking along. No one has quite managed to be able to get into a 2-frame lead. Ooh.
He misses it, or he made it thin, and the cue ball's gone too far. He makes that centre pocket, then he's good here.
I think he actually made it off the red in the end, because he missed that, basically, I think.
No, I think it just went, maybe it hit the jaw and then flicked in off the red, but he's potted it thin. He was worried about potting it. I think the red's half in play. It wasn't a full pocket, but he's really overdone how thin, and it's put him in a bit of trouble. And he can't find that one.
Yeah, not often you see the rest on the 7x4 foot table, but necessary there, and not to be for Shaun Storry. It's not a terrible leave though. Yellows are by far the worst colour set here. That might change with this shot here from Luke Gilbert. Should do. Oh, he's going to go.
Yeah, combination at the top. It's in the left side of the pocket, but if he makes it, then he's got a great chance to get out. Doesn't need to do too much with a cue ball. Play on a yellow to the bottom of the table. Yeah, nice. Just made sure. Didn't try and do anything. He's got slightly hampered on the shot here, but combination was everything. Now he can cue through this one. It's a good angle. Anywhere near straight on the one to bottom right to follow this, and he's absolutely fine. So now he just has to make sure he leaves a good angle on the final yellow, because the 8-ball doesn't go top left. The final yellow obviously being the one right at the top of the table.
Oh, he's gone about these brilliantly, Luke Gilbert, you've got to say. Very impressive.
Comes back and reaches the cushion to make sure, but he has gone a touch more than he would like. Almost being level with the yellow would have been absolutely perfect, but you didn't want to risk being anywhere near the straight. Wait, that's a better shot than it looks.
Yeah.
Really had to sort of cue that one in, couldn't hit it firm because the cue ball just goes too far. It's an excellent couple of shots in that counter there from Luke. The combination to get it going, and then obviously that shot at the end keeps it nice and clean, and we're back all square.
He'll take that. He got a little bit lucky at the top left of the table there, Luke, but he'll take that.
Yeah, cue ball does well to stay in. He's just not got complete control of that cue ball on the break. Interesting layout. What do you do? Yellow bottom right is a major problem. The red the cue ball's nearest to is the big problem for reds. I think that might be easier to solve. It's got more balls around it. No, he's going to go yellows. How's he dealing with the yellow at the bottom? Yeah, he's going to go now. You see him working hard to leave the angle. He has a slight problem here that he's not guaranteed. Not guaranteed to knock the yellow on and not guaranteed to be on a ball, but he's got a good chance. Well,
Take that. You will take that all day.
If that's what he's played, it's brilliant, but I can't believe that's what he's played. He's normally a player, I think, that holds up his hand to sort of just acknowledge touch of fortune, and he didn't there, so maybe he did.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if that was what he looked at, and that's the optimal way to play that cannon.
Yeah, it's just
If you go either left or right, then maybe it's not as ideal, but that was the line. It's a beautiful shot, though.
I mean, it couldn't be better, could it?
Yeah, even if you get that red half ball either side, I think you're producing a similar outcome.
Yeah, I think the odds are in the favour. That's poor.
Luke,
Oh, wow.
You lucky boy. Well, I say lucky. He's jawed here, and he's going to have to find a recovery. He's not in off, but he might as well be. It should similarly end his chances of winning the frame. That is... it's a shocker from Luke, in honesty, and he knows that.
Good solid hit, but that should be the frame over. Huge frustration. Once he gets the cannon right, he feels like he's got to get out there.
He'd done all the hard work.
Yeah.
He'd done all the hard work. That was not a difficult shot, the one he played. And that's the one that will annoy him.
Nothing in the way here for Shaun. It's just drop him in, make sure. Don't allow anything to become a problem. Right now, neither player can put together a break finish. A couple of reverse clearances, but they can't quite find it off their own. Cool. Just for a second, I thought he kept that one on the table. Yeah, fully expected him to flow through these, and he has indeed. No real problems for Shaun Storry, and he gets himself back in front. I wonder if he's going to think about changing his break, though. He hasn't got anything going on his own side, and I think if he could... Every time he gets himself in this position, he's thinking, right, big break, and then I can get myself too clear and we can get to work, but...
Yeah, Shaun would have won already.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh dear. Well, a change of break for Shaun Storry, and a change of fortunes as well. The cut break looked pretty good for him. He's changed the front ball, and this is the worst way you can hit it. It's exactly what Luke Gilbert did in the very first frame of the match. Scratching straight in off with a big contact is, well, it's the big no-no. I mean,
look what he's left, though. I mean, Luke's gone a little bit too far there, and he may make slightly hard work of this, but it's about as good a layout as I've ever seen in a pool match. It really is incredible.
I think it just shows that Luke isn't quite settled with the table yet. He doesn't look comfortable out there. He's still fighting a bit to control that cue ball. Recover the situation well. And we are back level again. Brilliant break from Luke. Oh yeah. How'd you like those? Terrific hit, great cue ball. Got one of the first balls he hit went flying into the middle pocket. It's a good job it did as well, because nothing else has.
It's not a great layout though, is it? It's going to be a safety exchange here, you feel? Continue the pattern of neither player being able to make a finish off their own break. Oh wow, that's a big effort he's taken on there. What a shot that is. Whew. I thought he was just going to play safe and just kind of keep it tied up at the bottom of the table. That was very aggressive, because this is incredibly tough, this pot.
Love the choice, to be honest with you.
Cool, used it all, but he kind of knew that, you know, from where he was, there was a little bit of room for that shot, but all credit to him for making it, because now it's gone in. Now it's a great option, but he knows that if he misses that, he loses the frame.
Oh, good time to potentially pull out probably his best finish in the match.
Yeah, it'll be your first break clearance, won't it? I didn't think that was on when the break came out. All about the first shot, which was fabulous. The rest has just all been there. Keeps the cue ball on the table, and this time it can't make a ball. This game will drive you mad.
Red balls in play.
Another really good chance here for Luke. This is a real opportunity to kind of get this match done, and as we talked about earlier on in the match, just find that little bit of rhythm at the right time. Obviously one thing to get the opportunities, but just take out 2 or 3 off the break, on the bounce. Oh, just as I'm sort of saying this could be the moment, he misses an absolute sitter. Can you believe it? Yellows aren't terrible, just that one yellow, and he's able to come for it short position now. Got the one on the left hand side just to track onto, but not bad at all. The red in between the 2 yellows on the right, kind of just in play. He'd love to land straight in on the one by the yellow, by the 8 ball rather, top right. The red stops him from being able to do that, because he'd come down for the yellow in the bottom half straight, and then you're on that one up to the top. He's going to have to leave himself angle on the one at the top, or get an angle to track for it in the middle, which is probably the play he'll look for here. He's got the angle to track the gap of the reds, then he'll be on either yellow to right centre or yellow to top left. That's the line. A little bit short, but he can deal with it from here. If he'd caught a red, it might have been more of a problem. Another 2 or 3 turns, I think, to just track past the yellow would have been better. He would have had the option then. Us that may well have still gone this way. He's got a little bit more angle here than he wants, because I think he's going to want to be on the one at the top of the table next. And he wants to be able to just hold for the one in the middle. But yeah, I think he may have to go. Well, he can go either way here. Yeah, he's going to leave the one at the top last, though. I don't think he could hold for the yellow. He would want to get back on the line he's on now, and he wouldn't be able to do that. Brilliant stuff from Shaun. Really nicely worked out, very controlled, always in position. Needs 2 frames. Well, comes across the front ball, plenty of power, makes a ball, and the cue ball stays on the table. Not his best, but good enough.
If anyone would like an update from the Women's Pro Series, the final that's following this match is now set. And it is the top 2 from last season, fittingly. Harriet Haynes and Amy Beecham, who will do battle. Harriet getting over Danielle Randall, who played a really good semi-final, but not quite enough to get past Double H.
Yeah, fitting's the right word there. Number 1 from year 1 against the number 1 from year 2. They've been the top 2 players throughout Ultimate Pool. I think Luke would have liked an angle on the red top right, just to come down and get on the red underneath his hand now. Now the one underneath his hand is likely to be his last ball. It's not really a problem, but he now has to come back and land high of the red, whereas if the previous shot was shorter, he comes down, he gets himself anywhere near straight in on that red to bottom left, then this one becomes the last ball, and it's because it's lower and it's better onto the 8 ball. It's not going to cause him a problem. He comes back perfectly, but it's those sort of small things that can lead to mistakes. Luke Gilbert then 1 away.
Well, he couldn't hit it better.
Yeah, deserves a ball. That's his best break. I mean, even acknowledged by Luke Gilbert. That was fantastic.
What a time to find that break. When he needed it most.
Yeah, I just think some balls come together at the bottom of the table. How good a chance is this? Yeah, not good at the bottom, not good at the top actually. This is a really poor layout. I think that was why he was smiling to himself as he's walking around the table. He's got a tough layout here. He may have to grind. Going for this finish may not be the right way.
Yellow balls in play.
So Luke Gilbert officially has the chance to qualify for his first Pro Series final. I would be surprised if it happened right here and right now. He would love it too.
Second shot clock in operation. Loss of turn.
So Luke Gilbert plays the loss of turn. I don't think you can really blame him for that. Wasn't a nice layout for him to come to the table, despite Shaun technically running aground.
Oh, just got there in time.
Nearly fluked it as well.
Yeah.
Which would have been very sore for Luke to take.
It's amazing. That transition from 30 to 15, how often it catches the players out. And it caught Shaun out there. And he's a very experienced player and one of the better players with the clock management. Yeah, Luke just, he can't be the one here. But he equally can't run the clock either. He's kind of got to play the frame normal, play the frame natural. Maybe try and force Shaun to make the running. You feel like Shaun wants to make the running.
Shaun has to make the running.
I mean, there's still 8.5 minutes though. Just has to win this exchange, but he is going to take these on. The yellow at the bottom does go, which is why he feels like he has a chance to go, whereas the reds at the bottom do absolutely nothing. And he caught the jaw.
Oh, he set the plant? No way.
If he set the plant, that's one of the biggest flukes I've ever seen.
No way.
This is really close. I mean, he's got to work the cue ball really hard here, but I mean, that was...
That is a sensational fluke.
Yeah, and then it's great to see he's still got a sense of humour out there. He's had one of the biggest pieces of fortune you've ever seen, and then he bemoans his luck for not being on the yellow here.
He's got a shot. I think he can see the edge. Can he take it for a ride? It's a good effort, but it's not there. And Luke Gilbert, this is your moment. Six balls away from his first Pro Series final.
Extension court.
It's hold yourself together time.
You would like that red not to go and sit on the cushion. It shouldn't make any difference, but this is for a Pro Series final.
He's gone about these really nicely. You know, he looks confident, looks assured. 2 pots away. Couldn't be any better on this. For the first time, Lightning Luke Gilbert has struck a Pro Series final. 2 semi-finals prior, third time lucky for Luke. Takes his congrats from his mates in the crowd who are all there to support him, and he will be back later on this evening for his first ever tilt at the big one.